Hello again, everybody. Scott Casper, Takedown Wrestling. Our conversation on the sport continues. The Nike hot seat today is populated by Randy Steward, Loras College. He joins us now. How are you, Randy?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thanks for having me.
After all these years, you're finally saying, hey, I'm going to hire a new associate head coach, and TJ Miller's the man. He comes back to Iowa from Louisiana. How did it all happen?
Well, I tell you, I had an assistant coach left to take over another program. He left in mid-January. Um, so I wanted to take my time and find the right guy. And ended up, it took about 5 months. And TJ was the guy that I wanted from all the initial conversations I had. I even, one of the people, very good friends in coaching is his father, Jim Miller, who has been a mentor for me for many years. And he was literally the first guy I called and talked to him. We talked about TJ a little bit, and then some other people and stuff. And it was just as things worked out and transpired, it became clearer and clearer that he was the guy, and it was a great fit. His wife, Allison, is from Delhi, Iowa, which is about 35 minutes from Dubuque. Uh, they have a 2-year-old, and they've got another one. They're expecting another one in September 1. So I know it's a big deal. The grandparents want them back in Iowa, and so I think that played a key part in it. TJ won a national title here, I think in 2007. Don't quote me on the year, but one of the years we hosted, he got married here 3 years ago in Dubuque. So he's had some connections, and I think all that just kind of the timing and everything came together, and just we couldn't be more excited.
And TJ, of course, returning to the always competitive Iowa Conference. An outstanding year this year as well. We'll talk a little bit about where the Iowa Conference is and where you see it going here shortly. But he'll return as the associate head coach, and it didn't happen just because you wanted it to happen, Randy. It was 5 months. I don't want to say exhaustive, but well-planned search. And your athletics director, Denise Oldenhoffen, was obviously behind this just as much as you.
Yes, you know what? And she was just named. She was our interim athletics director for most of this school year, and she was just named. Well, I was at our national tournament in March, and that's when they announced she's full time. So we're very happy about that. She has some wrestling connections. She was the director of the Division III championships we hosted in '07. We've gone to this regional concept now as a qualifier for the Division III nationals. We've hosted it the last 3 years. She's the director, and so she's a great wrestling supporter and person, and she played a key part. She did a phone interview at one point with TJ and got off the phone. I remember how excited she was and saying, we need to get this guy on campus and meet him in person and stuff, and we got him up here. And, like I said, my mom always tells me, God bless her, that things are meant to be, and I think this again is one of those deals. This was just how it worked out. It was meant to be, and it's awesome.
I know your SID will appreciate this and our natural proclivity to talk as close to a speaker as possible is being, I think, displayed right now because I'm getting only half your face. So
Okay.
there you go, right there. Perfect.
All right.
I want to make sure people see all of you. In 22 years, you haven't aged a whole lot. You're only
I
graying now at
appreciate that.
you're only graying now at the temples.
Yeah.
Stewart. But, you hire him because of a lot of reasons. One of them, of course, his tenure within the Iowa Conference, but also his experience at Holy Cross School in Louisiana. Talk to us a bit about what he brings to Loras with the performance down there of his athletes.
Well, I think again, one, he's had some success, team and individual wise, some very good success in the 5 years he's been there. He's well connected, I think, in the state of Louisiana, that whole area. He does a lot of the freestyle and Greco stuff and national teams going to Fargo. Um, and right now there's two kids, two of Wartburg's All-Americans this year, kids that he sent there. And one of them, I don't know if they both actually wrestled for him. I know one of them did. So I think that was important and is important. He's had some head coaching experience, which albeit high school level, it doesn't matter. He's been running a program, and to me that was another important piece. That he's a guy, and the reason associate head wrestling coach, he's going to be given a lot of responsibility, and again, I expect him to hit the ground running. He already has, and he doesn't officially start till August 1st. But we're on the phone. I mean, I was just telling Jim, he called me last night 3 times in the matter of about 45 minutes, and I'm just excited about different things, and it's good. Like I said, he's a young guy that's full of energy and very driven, and I have a feeling I think he's gonna keep me on my toes.
Well, keeping you on your toes. And I like that idea, though. And being able to pass the torch, being able to pass the legacy of this great program to somebody, who you followed. You watched him in his career develop. It's no secret to anybody. I guess Gable said it best, no secrets in wrestling other than hard work, dedication, and determination.
Right.
And how much do we respect Dan Gable? Well, his compliment of Coach Miller, TJ's father, is one for the record books. He said there is no better coach out there, period.
Yep.
And to have somebody, he calls you friend, you call him friend, and I think that's a great testament to the respect you have for each other. Let's talk a bit about the Iowa Conference before we're up against the clock. Iowa Conference is challenging for sure, but Division III on a national basis is evolving before our very eyes.
It really has, and again, I wrestled Division III back in the late at Cornell College, so I've really been able to see the how it's evolved, and I'm just telling you what, it is so competitive. The level of competition is incredible. I mean, it hands down, it really is. I think that in this day and age, Division III are usually, obviously most of them are smaller, often private liberal arts, many of them, not all of them. There's been more of a commitment. I think wrestling has an impact on enrollment for institutions, so that's important. So I think with that being said, you see some commitment, hiring full-time coaches, and I mentioned, or I will mention, many programs now have full-time assistants, which was unheard of 15 years ago.
And not full-time assistants, Randy, but now full-time associates that are planning for their future. In other words, well, he's going to retire. Who are we going to hire?
Yeah, and I think that plays a part in it. I'm in the twilight of my career here, so I would hope that we have a good run here and we go from there. And I think that's definitely something I'd like to see happen.
It's going to be an interesting year for sure as we contend again for championships. Finishing 15th last year, you had Stephen DeWitt, Nick Steger, both give you All-American performances this year. And of course, you're looking to build upon that. 15th is, I don't think any coach goes, hey, gosh, I hope we finish 15th.
Yeah, right. No, we don't. We absolutely. The goals are much, much higher than that. And again, another reason, TJ was on, I believe, 3 national championship teams. And so he's lived that. He was a national champion himself, 3-time All-American. He's lived that lifestyle. He's seen it, inside out, individual and team. And I think that's another key thing that he's going to bring to the table and have that impact on the kids in our program here.
Coach, you've been recognized by a jury of your peers, as it were, for the many years you've given to the sport, for your performance there at Ellsworth, at Loras, at Cornell. 4 times you've been recognized as the Coach of the Year, and then the Central Region Coach of the Year as well by the NCAA. Does any of that ever embarrass you?
Oh, I wouldn't say it embarrasses, and I would think anybody that's in it and has been in it as long as I have, you're not doing it for those things. They're nice, whenever that happens, first thing I think of, this is great for recruiting. Always comes back to, it's great. We can go tell recruits, hey, we got the Coach of the Year or blah blah blah. But you know what? It is special. I would say, it's always special when your peers vote that, and I've been doing, obviously, you've said a little bit, I've been doing this a long, long time. And I think, again, as you get to a certain point in your life or career, whatever it is you're doing, and I chose wrestling, you start to reflect back and really special and understand how special that, I get to come to work, get up in the morning, come to work every day and do something I absolutely love to do. I don't feel like I have to work.
What's interesting is that perhaps you think you chose wrestling. I think wrestling chose you.
Well, that very well could be true.
And that perhaps is the greatest compliment to a coach, is that a sport that you excelled in absolutely wanted you to remain and made you feel real welcome, evidenced by the quality of the time you spent, the athletes that you've taught and coached over the years. 15 academic All-Americans, in the classroom. I like that, Coach. I love the academic All-Americans. That's awesome.
It's huge. And Nick Stager was an academic. He was fifth in the country this year and was also an academic All-American. So, I want 10 of those every year. And that's what we're trying to do.
I knew academic All-Americans when I was at Iowa, but I never approached it. And perhaps I could have tried a little bit harder. And we encourage our wrestlers to do just that.
Right.
Try just a little bit harder. Randy Steward, congratulations. Thank you so much for your years of service. We're looking forward to continuing to see the program evolve as you gently hand over the reins. I'm sure it'll be bittersweet when it finally does happen, but at the same time, I think you've hired a neat guy in TJ Miller. The program surely in the future will be in great hands, and no doubt because of the care you took in looking for that guy, TJ Miller.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, we couldn't be, me personally, people here at Loris, we couldn't be any more excited. Alumni are extremely excited. And he's going to be up here in a couple of weeks. So his dad got a one-way ticket, flew down there, and they're driving a U-Haul back. So, yeah, they're going to be back. I think they're coming back. In fact, I think it's later this week. So
totally committed. U-Haul?
Yeah.
In tow? Yes, I'd say totally committed.
Yeah.
Randy, again, thank you very much. Pleasure to talk to you today. Nike Hot Seat, that's been our guest, Randy Steward, the head coach of Loris. If you want more information about the DuHawks program, go to duhawks.com. That's duhawks.com, and look for wrestling there. Our thanks to, say Jim's last name. It was Naperstek, right?
Naperstek, yep.
Your SID there does a great job. I know he's a tree hugger.
Yes, he is, but he's a great wrestling guy.
He's a wonderful wrestling guy. Dubuque much stronger because Loris is there. Our guest has been Randy Steward, the head coach of the Loris Wrestling Program, the duhawks.com online. Appreciate the time. Thanks for watching. And again, to Randy Steward, thanks for your time and your dedication to this incredible sport.
Thank you. I appreciate it.